Okay, hello everybody. I'm going to quickly run you through the exam tutorial. I advise you to go back and look again at this slideshow once you've completed this screencast, which will be uploaded onto iLearn. Okay, so the exam is structured in two parts. The short answer part is worth 20 marks and the essay is worth 25, so it adds up to 45% of your final grade. The short answer section is made up of one multiple choice question, some maps and diagrams that you need to interpret and explain, some one or two sentence answers, and some paragraph length answers. Remember that time management is crucial in exams, so make sure that you leave enough time to complete the essay at the end. So I guess because it's worth 25, that might be about an hour of the 2-hour time slot, or even a little bit longer. Okay, so the essay question section involves one question with a choice of 3 focus points. So it's one question and it's focused on either A, B or C. Each focus point relates to ideas from different modules. So in order to be able to answer the essay question, you need an in-depth knowledge of multiple modules. And obviously you need to have done the readings. The entire exam covers questions from every module and, from lecture notes, readings, very diverse, so you need to be very familiar with the material to do well. Okay, that is the first page of the exam. That's what it looks like. That's the first page as well. I just couldn't fit it all onto the slideshow. So yeah, go back and review that when this is done. Okay, here's some tips for how to answer the short answer questions or prepare to answer them. When you're revising, make sure you check out key concepts from the unit, learning outcomes, from both the course and the textbook readings and the lectures, and review slides and notes from the lectures. When you are actually doing the exam, make sure that you keep your answers trimmed to the mark value. So if it's only worth 1 mark, don't go into great detail. If it's worth 3 marks, you probably need to have about 3 key points. 1 paragraph should be fine for the questions that ask you to explain or discuss something. Okay, so in order to prepare for the essay, make sure you get familiar with the modules and divisions of topics within them. The essay questions will focus generally on a topic and not the entire module. And make sure you're, as I said before, extremely comfortable with a number of modules. During the exam, make sure you answer the question and stick to the topic. Always write a plan, a short plan, before you prepare an essay. And referencing is not required, but it is good to know key theorists. So if you do know, chuck the names in. Write clearly. The handwriting is really important. If it's illegible, it won't be marked. Okay, so here's some short answer questions from last year. Explain the meaning of cultural hybridity, then briefly use rap music as an example to illustrate your understanding. So obviously these 2 questions, they won't be the same this year, but there are questions in this format. So it just gives you some idea of what the exam will look like. Okay, here's a practice essay question from last year. So there. And another practice essay question. This is similar. This one is similar in form, not in content, but in form to the question that you will get in this exam. Okay. So, strategies for revision. Make sure you look at the learning outcomes. Often at the start of lectures or prezzies, the learning outcomes are listed. One thing you can do is turn a learning outcome into a question to make sure you cover key material. So if a learning outcome is be aware of some of the critiques of economic geography put forward by feminist economists, the question might be explain 2 feminist critiques of economic geography. You can also draw mind maps of the modules and the lectures and how it all relates, how it all intersects together, and make sure you try to memorize some of the key examples that are used to illustrate those connections. You can also practice writing, so you might want to use the essay questions that were given earlier as, to do practice essays. Have a look, make sure you understand the key terms in the unit, globalization, scale, all that sort of stuff. Study in short points, use colour as a memory device. And again, remember those learning outcomes because all of the questions are based around learning outcomes. And good luck! I wish you all the best with it, and please feel free to contact me with further questions about the content. Okay guys, thanks.